I don't know about you, but when I first heard terms like hate speech as a young man, I thought, how terrible. Why would people just hate others for no reason? Crank up killing in the name by Rage Against the Machine. Then as I got a bit older, I thought, well, this is still terrible, but sometimes I think some people are being manipulated a bit by terms like this. I don't think they often mean what people think they do. But at this point in my life, I'm just tired of such terms now. Why? Because fundamentally, I don't really think they're about things like justice and fairness, but more a tentacle of the globalist liberal mindset enforcing its woke worldview across Western nations. I would assume that's because I, like many other people out there, are tired of being bombarded by mainstream messaging such as this from establishment-approved artist Banksy stating migration is not a crime. As per usual with such things, Guardianistas will revel in the brilliance of such a piece but ignore the gaping hole in it. Nobody has ever said that migration is a crime. And secondly, wanting to limit or even not wanting to have migration isn't a crime either, but it will catch you the ire of the whole establishment. That's why many distrust pieces such as this crack down on racist hate speech, the UN tells the UK, and the BBC features a picture of a woman with a sign saying protect our children from racists. What are racists doing to your children? I would assume absolutely nothing, but even in the piece it claims, which seems some cross between Monty Python and 1984, the report did not single out specific politicians or instances, but urged authorities to formally and publicly reject and condemn hate speech and the dissemination of racist ideas. Now, if you've had only a passing interest in politics after the last decade or so, you know what that really means is crack down on anything outside of the radical leftist ideology. This is why many people also roll their eyes when they see the Met Police is to become completely anti-racist. We know this doesn't mean equality and fairness. We know this means the demonization of anybody who doesn't hold to politically correct views. All while ignoring and underplaying actual crimes that go on and are increasingly unreported. The BBC is up to its old tricks as well. They've got plants like this in their audience.
My parents were immigrants as well from Jamaica, and they paid their taxes, I paid my taxes. By profession, I'm a nurse. And I just wanted to say that, please, to the panel, please see people coming from a different country as human.
Again, like Banksy, this is just another straw man. Nobody has claimed that migrants, illegal or otherwise, are not human beings. This is just bog standard leftist propaganda to make people believe that anybody who's anti-mass migration is some evil, heartless maniac who doesn't belong in modern Britain with his atavistic views. What's really going on here is the globalist liberal mainstream are aware that people are waking up to the problems that the modern West is facing due to mass immigration and state multiculturalist ideology, and they want to essentially criminalise any dissent. The problem is, people are noticing more and more every day, such as this story. A rape is reported every hour in London. You'd think the feminists would be on that one like a shot, but of course they won't be unless they can blame it on toxic white males. Similarly, people are tired of seeing stories like this on an almost weekly basis. This is from The Telegraph. A foreign murderer who clubbed a man to death in the back of a London ambulance will not be deported in order to protect his mental health. And what about this lady? She's come over from Zimbabwe. Here she is stating whether she's proud to be British or not.
Are you proud to be British?
Yeah, I'm ever so proud because I lived like half of my life here. And my children, they got free education, the medical bills, and we are free. To be very honest, this is like, I now call it my home because I had all my children here.
Now this lady's whole identity in being British is basically it's good because I get free handouts. And on top of that, she says she's been here half her life, but her accent sounds like she's just got off the boat yesterday. Later they speak to her partner too, who's equally as dumbfounded as what it means to be British. However, it's odd, isn't it, how these two are from Zimbabwe, a country that, took over white rule because they said it was evil, but then come to a white country. If we're so evil and racist and terrible, why do people from countries that we once ruled over wish to come back? It's not like the Jews were clambering to get into Nazi Germany now, was it? But it's not just in Britain this is happening, we're getting this all over the continent. Here's an amazing clip from Germany where a presenter essentially says, yes, we've had some bad things with immigration such as rapes and so on, but the kebabs are good, so shut up.
Sie sagen immer, dass sich das Land so verändert und dass ihnen das nicht gefällt. Ja, natürlich, also sprechen wir es mal an, Messerangriffe, Gruppenvergewaltigung, ja, das sind Themen, wo sich was verändert hat, wo wir drauf gucken müssen, aber auf der anderen Seite, also das verändert sich verändern sich auch andere Sachen. Also beispielsweise, wenn wir dann den Herrn Shahin nehmen mit der Corona-Impfung, wir haben wissenschaftlich große Leute, die tolle Ideen haben, die hier zugewandert sind. Wir haben, wenn ich zu meinem kleinen Laden um die Ecke gehe und einkaufen will, kriege ich abends um 10 von meinem kleinen Türken was zu essen. Das gab es früher bei mir nicht. Also ich will sagen, die bringen ja auf allen Ebenen auch was mit. Warum eigentlich immer nur auf das Negative gucken?
And then we have this toxic bigot in France complaining of how enrichment isn't as wonderful as it's been presented.
Vraiment, venez jamais à Paris tout seul. Je suis à la gare toute seule, à la gare du Nord. Et genre vraiment c'est horrible, je me fais accoster toutes les 5 minutes. Il y a même une meuf qui vient de me voir, elle me dit décale ton sac s'il te plaît. Et je lui dis mais pourquoi je suis censée décaler mon sac? Et elle me dit mais il y a de la pisse. Et il y a un SDF qui a pissé sur mon sac. Alors que je sais pas, je suis toute seule et tout genre. On m'a insulté de clochard dessus. On me demande de l'argent toutes les 2 minutes. En tout cas ce qui est sûr c'est que je viendrai plus jamais toute seule à Paris. Les gens ils sont malades ici, c'est un truc de ouf. En plus t'as tous les mecs qui te regardent là avec leur sourire pervers de merde. Ça me casse les couilles, j'ai l'impression d'être un morceau de viande ici. Je veux trop rentrer chez moi.
It's lucky for that girl she isn't in Britain with her terrible racist bigotry. Keir Starmer and the UN would have a jail cell ready for her. Put simply, we are ruled by a distant utopian liberal elite who don't care what's going on in their own countries and don't care about the protestations of their own people. However, the cracks are increasingly clear to see and things are eventually going to collapse. The liberal system is ending. When that happens, we have to be ready to pick up the pieces with a solid cultural understanding of who we are and what sort of world we want to build. These are just my thoughts, however. Do let me know what you think down below and do consider subscribing to the channel.